Sup, my name is Rare for the YugiohCouncil, and before we start this discussion on should Konami bring back emergency ban lists, I have like a 1 minute and 30-second channel update for the viewers of my channel. If you are not a subscriber and you still are interested, then please stick around. I'm not trying to curvey anyone, but I'm just going to tell you what's going on. So, because I post these things on Facebook, I normally don't post them here, and you'll hear it in the video that is to follow, I'm just going to say it right now. New camera next week. This one has been used for 2 years. We are kicking off year 3, and it's the year of rising. And there's actual meaning behind when I say the year of rising for the YugiohCouncil. And it's not a Batman reference, let me just make that clear. There's a lot of things launching this year for us as a network. And when I say as a network, we're not Machinima. Let's just make that clear. We're branching out into our own little network, you know, with the Council Gaming and then the Pokemon Council and the Yu-Gi-Oh Council and some other things that are going to follow. So I'm hoping you guys will be cool with that and understand that we're going to do it in the right steps this time. Just so we're clear. So let's talk about should Konami bring back the ban list, emergency ban list. Emergency ban list used to be when a card was so damn broke, Konami would go, nope, no more. We don't care just about sales. That's too broken. Rip it out of the game and then continue on with the game. This happened last time I remember. I think it was Dad Return and Cyberstein. I was just taking a competitive break during the time of Dad Return, and I came into the competitive scene during the time of Teledad, the last generic deck of all generic decks. So I guess we can call it last generic deck. There's also Dad Cell. Fair enough. Here's the point though. During those times, things would get fixed a lot faster, but they were more needed because we only had 6 months. But in recent light of, and I'm sorry to say this to many of you, Konami not really giving a shit when it comes to ban lists and making them very half-assed and trying to put a band-aid over what needs surgery, it's really just, I'm not pissed off about it, but I feel like there's a giant leap that needs to happen. Kind of how, like, if you want to get into Yu-Gi tubing, it's okay to, you know, start out with, you know, without a screen recorder, but then you got to take that leap. You got to take that next step. You got to up your production. You got to connect to your subscribers. You got to show them who you really are and not be afraid to, and be able to talk to people and take negativity and just turn it into positivity, or take what people say to heart. Not all of it, some of it's trolls. But here's the point that I have to say. Bringing back Snatch Steal does not fix the game when your opponent locks you out of something. It does not. Burning Abyss still have a Icarus attack, and the reason so many people make a big deal out of this is not because it's a fucking Icarus attack. It's because A, the deck plus 5's off it, well, technically plus 3, and then B, it could be searched out by Burning Abyss and brought back by Burning Abyss, which means this has more utility than something like Icarus attack. And it's more of a pain in the ass to deal with because you're not just going to see it once, you're going to see it multiple times, and that is just annoying as hell. Now, many of you could say, well, there's Decree and Jinzo, and we're not talking about Heavy Storm, surprisingly enough, coming back in here. No, we're not even talking about Harpy's Feather Duster. I'm not even going to make those jokes about it coming back. I'm not. This is an all serious-based video, and honestly, I feel Konami should have done something to Burning Abyss. And neck cloths are on the way. They're going to probably be very hyped, and that's why I have to say this, and some of you may disagree with me. I think they're a little bit overhyped, because a lot of us, as we were with Shed Dolls, are prepared for that matchup. But with Burning Abyss, we're not, because we're ready for Burning Abyss as is. We don't know how far that new support, when in the hands of thousands upon thousands of players, will change the shape of the game into, you know, this is how you play at this ratio, this is how you play at that ratio. We don't know yet. And that's a scary thought. They're going to have their own ritual, meaning Burning Abyss can now play rituals. And they could just play more than just one. Imagine if they play the Dragon Princess ritual and decide to draw 2, discard 1, discard Scarm. You just get +3 off a ritual summon, and you could put it in the Djinns because you could search it out by Scarm. You see where I'm going with this? I can't be the only one understanding that they have this in Fire Lake at their hands. I know there may be different versions of Burning Abyss and everything's Theorio right now. I understand that. But here's my point to you. honestly, I feel like Konami, even though we are only in a 3-month format, should bring back emergency ban lists for the middle of formats. During the middle of a 3-month format is usually when we see the biggest change and the biggest spike in decks that are played. Maybe that's just from my own personal experience, but that's how it feels. But in all seriousness, maybe, just maybe, if they would have put certain things back to counteract better. Maybe if we had macro back. But I know what many will say. But Ryu, it's enough dealing with back row with only 3 MST. Not everyone agrees with me on that, because we do have Jinzo, we do have Decree, we do have Deko Seka, which is great for the meta. But if you're running to something that's not meta, then it's not nearly as great, and people disagree with me with that. It's a good card in the meta. If it's outside the meta, it's pretty bad, because if you run into the wrong deck or something that can get over it, it's really not going to be an issue. And that's where tech cards actually do come in to handle it. Just saying. I do feel it's going to be one of the reasons that Neclots can actually top is because of Deko Seka and actually main decking it at 3. It wouldn't surprise me, in all honesty. I feel Manju is going to be great, and Burning Abyss could use it, but they really wouldn't have to because, well, they have everything else that can search everything else out. And it's silly to think how far will Konami allow this deck to go. And I know for a fact, as long as the info wasn't wrong, in OCG they're giving Inforoids at least a year of support. So they want to push Inforoids. Right now in TCG, Inforoids ain't going to do squat. I'm sorry. Next 3 months, they ain't doing squat. I want to see them do something, but they ain't going to do squat. But when we get to, okay, when does it become a point that Konami says, alright, you know what, no more Burning Abyss support, we're done supporting them? How do you basically take down this giant beast that it's taken over the game? Pretty much, it's taken over the game. We could pretty much say it's close to tier 1. Banish of the Radiance gets run over by Deko Seka. It's true. But, I mean, with Banish of the Radiance, I guess if Burning Abyss, they would have to make a rank 3 plane as long as you're able to stop it. You know what, I'm giving too much theorio into thought. But in all seriousness, Burning Abyss probably have the best matchup against everything. I'm not fully sure myself how they deal with Neclots. I feel it can go either which way. I mean, if Burning Abyss are running that thing, the new ritual with basically the Dijin that says no special summon, no targeting, I think things are going to get really silly really fucking fast. And it's going to be basically who can lock who out first. And in all honesty, I think Burning Abyss can do it a little bit better for the sheer fact they have Fire Lake to back them up. Fire Lake ritual with just the one alone that says no special summoning. Pardon me. That rips the whole heart of the Neclots out and just stomps on it. And what is Konami going to do? They're going to let it ruin Neclots? And I know Neclots are coming more towards the end of the format. You can go 2 weeks later, whatever, they fix it for Neclots. Okay, fine enough. What happens when something else, and it's longer, it's just the beginning of the format, it's what they want to sell to you, and you don't want to buy it for that reason? What has become them when that deck's not getting support? That's what I'm talking about emergency ban lists. I'm not saying let's bring back Heavy Storm. I'm keeping that away from this video. Because in all honesty, I agree with you guys now. Heavy Storm can't come back. We do need some kind of back row control, and Deko Seka right now, if you're playing meta, is that answer. I will give you that. I'm not even going to deny it. Honestly, I think if something was to come back in that sense, just while we're on this topic, looking back at everything and the reasons why OCG even banned it, is because Harpy's Feather Duster and Cold Wave can't get rid of the pendulum zones on your side. So that's just my theory out. But again, it's been a lot of just off the top of my head when it comes to that and looking at what I know to say. But before we're here for 2 hours talking about Heavy Storm, I stopped myself, and all I have to say is, should Konami bring back emergency ban lists? What is your take? Let your voice be heard in the comment sections below. I just smacked myself. I suck. More Suki 2 or ever. I gotta take that noise out. In all seriousness, I would like them to bring it back. Maybe not every single time, we get some emergency ban lists, but the other thing I forgot to mention throughout this whole video, before we go, is when Dark Strike Fighter came back, that should have been an emergency limit to put it at 1 to promote sales of the Legendary Collection 4 faster. Or 5, I think. 5, sorry, we're on 5. To do it faster, and that would have been more incentive to buy it. Just a thought. Just my 2 cents. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below, and make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching again. Peace.